Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Wes, the Average Trainer, and today, even though I haven't really done any Kamen Rider Ex-Aid episode video things at all, I felt like it was important for me to give some thoughts on the finale, basically just so I can get some things off my chest and stop thinking about them. But so, if you haven't watched Kamen Rider Ex-Aid, there are obvious spoilers for the last episode of the series. I've given you some time to close this video out now. I don't know why you'd be here if you haven't watched the show, but I digress. Anyway, spoilers are going to happen, so here we go. So this episode focuses on all of the riders fighting against Kamen Rider Cronus, Dan Masamune himself, and basically the final battle happens, I think it was like 5 to 8 minutes or so. They just have this big final battle, and Emu is able to break out of the reset, even though it looked like Parrot was killed last episode. Apparently Emu was able to transform still, which they explain later in the episode, so I don't have a real problem with. And they just went all out for that final battle. I am just like, yes, this is exactly what I want to see. Even during the little sponsor credits, they had the battling happen, and Cronus was just destroying everybody else, and it was like, yes, this is good. This is like a visceral fight. I like this. Let's do this. And then they copied that little night shot that they've had in the opening for the entire series, where it's Emu on top of the Bakuso bike, Laser. Yes, on top of Laser as his bike form, and then you have Snipe and Brave to the side, and it's a battle at night. It looks really cool, and they copied that like scene for scene. It was just fantastic to see them do that. Whether they had that planned out or not, I don't know. I would assume they would. It seems like a normal type of thing that you could get away with, regardless of how it ended. Since they, even though Kiria died earlier in the series, he could still summon the bike, so it could still work regardless. But anyway, it was a cool shot. The entire fight was good, but really the thing that I liked about the episode the most was the fact that it just took a good bit of time at the ending to just kind of slow it down, talk about the things that have happened in the series, talk about all the people that have been lost by name. Well, not all of them, but quite a few people that have been lost by name in the series to the Bugser virus, and they really took that time. Emu is giving a press conference with the guy, I can't remember his name, but the guy who had saved him when he was a kid and given them that surgery and the Wonder Swan and everything. And you could just see that there's a huge difference between the Emu at the beginning of the series and the Emu at the end of the series. He's just really matured and become a doctor in his own right. And I just loved seeing that, the entire speech that he gave about life and everything, and how they're going to take the time. They've eradicated diseases and viruses in the past, and in the future they think that they can bring these people back, that they're not actually dead. And it just hits you where it hurts right there. Boom. Well, okay, that was a poor phrase, but it hits you right here, boom, in the heart. And it's like, yes, this is why the doctor aspect of the series was really, I think it was good. I liked how they did it. You might not enjoy it as much. They might have given up a little bit on the doctor thing, but I think they did all right with it. But anyway, yeah, you see Emu, he's become a doctor in his own right. You see Hiro, who has, who was comforting his dad when they talked about Saki, and, what a journey he's taken, and how he was super happy that Taiga was able to resume his practice in a way, at least kind of a probationary period, with just working with the game virus. So I thought that was good, that he's really accepted him as a doctor, and he's not holding a grudge against him anymore. You see that Taiga opens up his own practice in that little dilapidated hospital that he's been opening it up in, and Nico eventually asked to become his assistant after she graduates, which I thought, hey, that's a good little, thing for them to do. She was kind of hinted at as being interested in medicine in a sense when she was comforting that kid who was suffering from the virus and, showing him how to play video games. So, it's a good little thing for her to be able to do, and just that brother-sister relationship that they developed over the series. I thought it was great. It's really heartwarming. And obviously, it's a modern Kamen Rider season, so people can't stay dead. So obviously Poppy and Parrot, Pallid, I'm going to say Pallid, it's a little easier. Pallid were able to be revived, which I don't know how I feel about that necessarily. I'm glad they're back, but the way they did it, it's kind of like, yeah, it's okay, but not the best type of revival. I don't know. But regardless, they're back, and they have their own V cinema, which I'll talk about later. And I just thought it ended nicely. They just wrapped everything up. Dan Kuroto is still stuck in his little area with the CR, so I'm guessing he has to help people out now, which is good for him. Some penance, so to speak, for all of the stuff that he's done. And okay, well, let's just get into the stuff. At the end of the series, or at the end of the episode, I should say, they had a little trailer for Kamen Rider Build, which looks great. I should be talking about Build sometime soon, so stay tuned for that. And they had a little trailer for the 3 V cinemas, where you have a Hero and Taiga V cinema, which comes out first, I think. Then you have a Pallid and Poppy V cinema, which is second, I believe. And then finally you have a Kirya and Dan Kuroto V cinema. And I'm just like, boom, that's the one I want to know about. Like, because it talks about how, well, wait, let's remember the guy who started this all, and it's Dan Kuroto doing his whole thing and his this over-the-top behavior. And it was a cool little scene. I liked it. It was really funny. And yeah, it looks like Dan's going to be a problem again in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. I'm hoping that, I mean, as much of a jerk as he is, he kind of really added a lot to the show. And he kind of ended on a neutral note with Kirya and all that, even though he'd killed him. So I want him to stick around. I don't want him to just be killed at the end of this whole thing. So who knows what's going to happen with him. But I'm curious to see, like, is this the Dan Kuroto that we saw from the, the Go Rider specials? That program of sorts? Because it looked like him with the slick back hair and all that. Possibly. Who knows? Maybe he comes from the Go Rider world and everything as an undead, I guess, because, that whole thing happened or whatever. I don't really understand how that whole thing happened. I've never really finished Blade, so that's a completely different aside. But maybe he materializes as a type of bugster and the real Dan is all mad about that. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, though. I'm really looking forward to it. So we have 3 V cinemas coming out. We still have the true ending. That's going to be, subtitled in like 6 months or so. So hopefully we'll get to see that. Well, I guess we'll get to see that before the V cinema, so that'll be good. So you see the true ending, then the V cinemas, and then I guess there's a hyper battle video with Emu and Pallid that's coming. I really like the series. It was a really enjoyable series. Like, I never thought, doctors and video games. Well, I mean, I guess I did. I kind of had a feeling like, this looks like it'll be pretty good, but I didn't think it would be this good. Because, I kind of skipped Ghost and Drive, and I just wasn't really interested in those seasons. I really liked Gaim, but I know that there's been some criticism recently about that, and can't say it's all unwarranted, but overall, I just really, really liked Ex-Aid. It was a good show. I would really like to do some kind of video project in the future, whether it's episode by episode or in batches of episodes, or it's covering character arcs over the entire series. I don't know. I'm just trying to decide what would work best for me, especially considering I'm starting a new school year at a new school, so I have to be, responsible in that way. But we'll see how it works, and I'm just looking forward to seeing whatever else they put out in the future, and I really want to try to make a push to collect all of the gashots that I can, because I have like 25, 26 right now, and I'm not going to get the proto gashots, that's for sure, because those things are just super expensive, but at least the basic ones. I think there's like 3 or 4 or 5 more that I'm missing, and then you have the new one coming out for Dan Kuroto for the V cinemas. So yeah, I'm like, do I want to order all 3 DVDs for that much? I don't know, just for one gashot, but then I get the V cinemas too, and that's kind of cool, and maybe they'll have some bonus features. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. So, but anyway, I liked it. You probably watched Kamen Rider Ex-Aid if you're watching this video. If you didn't, I'm sorry, you just got the whole thing spoiled at the end, but hey, it's a pretty good ride, so definitely check it out. So anyway, that's me, Wes the Average Trainer, talking about my Ex-Aid finale thoughts, and tune in for some Build thoughts. I'm hoping to do a series on Build as it's airing, so that it actually kind of coincides with, what's happening. And yeah, that's great. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay average. Goodbye.